Guys, welcome back. We're reloading 38 Special today. I had about 250 rounds that were sitting here. They've been sitting here for years just waiting to get reloaded. And I just decided last night that I was going to go ahead and get them done. So I'm not sure which video this is, the third or the fourth video that I've done. A little short video on the stages that I go through. Brought the brass home, put it in the tumbler for a little while, about 30 minutes. Gets that, that grime that's been sitting on it, just knocks it off and gets it clean. Then I run it through the resizing die and the decapping die. Get that done. The next stage would have been the neck expander die, which is in the I took it out. It was in the press just a few minutes ago, and I took it out. And this next die that goes in here will be the bullet seating die. But before we do that, now I just want to explain that this brass that I'm messing with today has already been reloaded once by me, so I've already trimmed it. And when I shot it, there's not much variance in the length of the brass. So I randomly measured several of them. Got about 250, and they all were within 0.003 of each other. So that's acceptable to me. If it's not to you, then trim them. Do whatever you want. But to me, 0.003 is good. It's a good variance. I'm not going to get mixed up about all that. So the next stage of this process is going to be my case prep center. Now, let me get a pointer out here. There's a couple of stations on this RCBS case prep center. I don't have this thing bolted down. It's probably a good idea if you do. There's some, there's a thing here and there's a thing on the back where you can screw it down to the table. It's probably a pretty good idea if you do that, but I've got such a small table that I don't. So I use it, and it's got a little weight to it. It's got a little motor in here, so it's got a little weight to it. I've never had any problems doing it that way, so that's fine with me. So what we're going to do, the next step is there's a couple of pieces on here. This tall one right here is a brush, and I just run it inside the cases. I don't put a lot of pressure on it. This thing, it's just a stiff brush, and it cleans. You can hear it. If there's anything loose inside the case, it'll knock it out. And you may say, well, you don't really need to do that. Well, there's dust below this brush to say otherwise. I got in one of my cases and it had some dry lubricant still stuck in it, and it's white and it came out. So there's carbon and stuff that gets stuck on the side walls, and it's just another step. You can do it or you cannot do it. It doesn't really matter. There's a station right here, and this particular cutter and I'm not going to use it this time because I don't need to. Now this is to cut a factory crimp. A military crimp out of a primer pocket. This one's for a large pistol primer. Federal brass a lot of times will have a crimp in the brass to hold the primer in and to seal the primer. So this thing right here is a little cutter that gets that crimp out. It's just a little tiny piece of brass, and it kind of shaves it out so you can get a primer in there. So we're not going to use that one this time because we don't need to. This one over here is a primer pocket brush, also for a large primer pocket, but this one's worn out, so it fits in the 38 Special. It fits in the small primer pocket. So we're going to use this one today, and typically that's the biggest thing that you're going to be doing here is that. I found out that it's easier to go ahead and clean the primer pocket out. That way you don't run into primer seating problems, which I've had that in the past. which is why I actually bought this machine. It was wearing me out doing it by hand. You know, you get these kits and you get things like this in them, you know, and you can fit these on there. You know, if you get a couple of hundred to do, go ahead and try it one time and see if it's not worth it to buy this machine. Okay, it just makes it so much easier. So this is going to clean my primer pocket out, and then I'm going to come over here to the inside deburring tool. Can't really see that on the camera. Let's see if I can turn it so you can see it. There we go. So this one right here is the inside deburring tool. Just to clarify, this is not a chamfering tool. This is a deburring tool. Big difference in the two. Now this one, same thing. This one is the outside deburring tool. So it's not a chamfering tool, it's a deburring tool. So, and all we need to do is touch on each one of these. I've cleaned this press before, and I've loaded this press before, so things are a little easier the second time. I will say, I don't know why factory primer junk is hard to get out of there, but it is. The first time you clean up, if you go buy a box of ammo and you shoot it and you decap it, you come over here and you try to clean it out, it takes a second. I mean, you can tell it's just stuck in there. After you shoot it one time and you clean it good, you prime it yourself and you shoot it yourself, and you bring it over here. For some reason, it's just not as hard to do the second time. I don't know, maybe it's been sitting on the shelf for a long time. Not sure. I'm not sure why. Why factory ammo is just it's sticky. But I'm going to run through a couple of them, and then I'm going to end this video, okay? So it's going to get loud. That's why I did all my talking up front. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to clean out the primer pocket. Not touching this very hard, giving it a little turn as I do it. So now you can see the primer pocket's clean. You know, so it went from this to this. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. This brush fits pretty good in this 38 Special, so I don't have to take it back and forth. So I'm going to go in there and do that, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to touch it on that inside deburring tool, maybe one or two revolutions. I'm going to touch it over here, and it should have I haven't even looked at it yet. Yeah, see, it's got a nice shiny ring on the outside. That's just nice and smooth like butter. So that's the idea behind this. Thank you for watching my video. If you like the video, give her a thumbs up and like the video. You know, I don't really have a name for my channel yet. I used to do this a while back, and YouTube changed a bunch of rules, so I'm gonna have to start over. So just give me a thumbs up on this video, and if you liked it, and let's try to get this stuff going again. I will be doing different things starting as far as reloading, starting at the end of this month, and it's May of 2020. So I'll be doing some different things at the end of the month. I'm getting another reloader. I'll do an unboxing with that, and I think you'll enjoy that. You know, keep in touch and watch my videos. I appreciate it, and God bless, and have a good week. Happy shooting.